Hello there, and today we'll be looking at how you can be able to do data validation, that is insert a drop-down list in Excel, and also how you can copy that validation from one place into a different workbook or a different space in the worksheet that you are currently on. Just basic beginner information about Excel. A workbook is whatever you're using, what you can see on the screen, which has got different worksheets. That is, for me, I have here. This is a paste workbook, the validation workbook, and the list workbook. Then this in total is known as a worksheet. And now let's go to the business of today. For today, we'll be doing data validation and how you can go about data validation. It helps you it allows you to only key in certain values in a given cell. For example, you've got certain items that these are the only items that you've got in your list, but you have to key in them. So for you to avoid any different items being keyed in the sheet, all you do is basically data validation. And what is data validation? Let us go straight to it. To access data validation, you go to your data tab. Then there is this icons here, the data validation here. Let me just zoom out a little bit, and then here is where this data validation toolbox or pops out here. Let's now do exactly what you need to do so that you can start this data validation. Let me zoom out just a little bit more. Yeah, I think this is visible. Now you'll just highlight the areas you need to apply this data validation for. For this instance, it's this table of hours. We have two different lines, that is the item and the category, and two different columns, the item and the category columns, and each has got its own data validation. So for me to get these items, I have created a list in a different workbook. You can also in a different worksheet. You can also do it in the same worksheet or a different one. So all you do is highlight that area, then go to the data validation tab, that is the data, and then you go to the data validation. You can also access it using the Alt-A-V. That's how you access data validation, Alt-A-V-V. So now let's do it. Then click on data validation or click also on V, and it opens up this dialog box. Now in the settings, the validation criteria here is it's a list. It's their values you need to insert. So you can use any of these options. The whole number, you can just indicate that. Now we'll come back to this. Now for this instance, we need a list, so you just click on the list, and where is your list? You can key in your list. Yeah, for example, we can say all you need there is Samsung, comma, we also would say Itel, then say okay. And now you see there's a drop down here. So any figure I put here, it either is Samsung or Itel. Yeah. So if I decide to put Nokia here, it gives me this error. So that is basically how we do data validation. Now let's expand and get it from a source. So we'll just highlight on the same area again. Now we go to the clear validation. We can clear the rows of validation in this area, then come here back to the data validation. But now on this bit, we'll just clear these ones, and now we'll get it from the source at different places. This is whereby I have this list, and now I'll just highlight the several items that I've got. It's very easy to key in these items rather than just manually doing them. And then you'll just click back on that and say okay. Now going back to our list, we can key in any of this: iPhone, Samsung, and MacBook. Now if I come here and say Samsung, let's go Itel, it will give me this error. Why? Because they are not in my list. That's how you go about data validation. Now for the figures bit, there's this amount let's go with the amount column. We just highlight this one, and now we'll validate and ensure that you can't key in any text in this amount column. How do you go about that? You highlight the area, go to the data validation, that is alt AVV, and now you open up this tab, and now we'll say that the number we'll put here has to be a whole number. That is, it has to be a given number. Say okay, and then we can say between, let's say now it just has to be greater than 0, so it's greater than, and then minimum is 0, so any number above 0 can be keyed in this place. And then okay, we can come here to error alert. Now this one is just to a warning message, and then we can say enter valid number. And then you can just insert it's not very necessary, but let's just do it, and then say okay. So if I come here and key in, let's say -1, it will tell me I enter a valid number. And then if I were to do 900, it agrees it as a number. It allows the input to be there. That's what data validation basically does. And thank you for watching, and kindly subscribe for more. Thank you very much. Oh, now we've already done our data validation for these cells, for the quantity amount, for the amount column, and the item amount. And now we need to paste this one in a different space in this same worksheet, and move, and we don't want to go back to start validating again. So how you go basically about this, you just highlight the area you need to copy, then copy it, and then the cell you need to paste in on, and then let's just first basically paste the format for what just look nice. Alt HVST, and then okay, then let's copy again this area, and then Control C, copy, highlight on the area, but now we'll just be pasting the validation bit of it, that is Alt HVS V for valid, and Alt HVSN for validation, or you can just click here for validation, that is N, and then say okay. Now let's see if we've copied our validation on it. So in this column we had a drop down, it still is there, and then let's just put the labels we had. Let's just link them with the formula. This is also a nice way to link tables. Just say okay, then highlight on this one, shift right arrow, and then Control R, that is control right, and then you apply the formula or to the right cells to the right of the current cell. So you can see validation still is there, and then in the amount you can key in -7 to see if it will work, and it still gives us the valid number option at a valid number, so it means our validation still is viable. So that's how you basically do data validation and copy it into a different section in your workbook without needing to do it again. Thank you for watching, and kindly subscribe for more. Thank you.